Welcome to The Explainer. So, what if the real secret to a happier future isn't about just looking forward? What if it's actually about taking a really clear, honest look at your past? Today, we're going to break down this powerful idea. Let's just start with this question. Has you ever had that feeling? That kind of nagging sense that some invisible weight from your past is dragging you down, but you just can't quite put your finger on what it is? Well, if you've ever felt that, you are definitely not alone. It's so common for us to be told, hey, just forget about it, move on. But what if that exact advice is the very thing that's keeping us stuck? And that idea, that paradox, is what we're diving into first. We're going to explore why looking back isn't about getting stuck in the past. It's actually the only way to truly heal from it. Okay, so here's the absolute core of it. The things we try to bury, the things we don't process, they don't just disappear. Nope. They can stick around and pop up in our lives as anxiety or stress or other struggles we just can't seem to explain. There's this really powerful story in the article about the author's cousin. He just visits his old childhood home and bam, he's hit with this flood of painful emotions he thought was gone forever. It just goes to show you how the past can sneak up on us when we least expect it. And this is where it gets super interesting. On one hand, yeah, tough childhoods can build incredible resilience. I mean, look at people like C.S. Lewis or J.R.R. Tolkien. They turned their early losses into these amazing, epic worlds. But for a lot of us, if we don't process those hard times, they just create these unresolved issues that can follow us around for a lifetime. So, this brings us to a really cool and kind of creepy metaphor for these unresolved things from our past. The author calls it the red glowing monster. And isn't that a perfect description? It's that pain we've forgotten about, just lurking in the shadows of our minds, quietly messing with our decisions, our fears, our relationships, all without us even realizing it. And believe me, this isn't just some abstract idea. There's this incredible story from when the author was an intern at a psychiatric hospital. He talks about a woman who was terrified, absolutely convinced that a monster was going to kill her. She'd been institutionalized for years because of it. But then, through therapy, they finally figured it out. The monster? It was actually a completely repressed, horrific memory of abuse from her childhood. And once she made that connection, once she could finally see the monster for what it really was, it started to lose its terrifying hold on her. And that right there is the perfect way to think about this. Trying to ignore your emotional pain, it's like putting a numbing cream on a badly infected wound. Sure, it might feel a little better for a minute, but underneath, that infection is just getting worse and worse. Facing the pain is like cleaning the wound. Yeah, it stings, but it's the only way it's ever going to heal properly. Okay, so if ignoring the past is a no-go, then what do we do? How can we look at these memories without just getting completely lost in them? Right, let's be super clear about this. The point isn't to go back and live in the past. It's to visit it with a purpose. The goal is to understand what happened, get some clarity, and then use that knowledge to finally break old patterns and make better, more conscious choices for your future. And this is what the author calls a happiness audit. It's basically a deliberate check-in with yourself. You're kind of lifting the hood to see if any of those old unresolved issues are quietly messing with the engine of your life today. So how do you actually do one of these audits? Let's get into the practical, real-world steps you can take to start this whole process. The article lays out 4 pretty straightforward actions. Number 1, go through old photos and just notice what feelings pop up. 2, journal about it. Write it all down without any judgment. 3, talk to someone you trust, whether it's a good friend or a professional counselor. And 4, work on forgiveness. Forgiving others, sure, but also, and this is a big one, forgiving yourself. Okay, but this brings up a huge question, right? After you do all this hard work, how do you know if it's working? How can you actually tell when you've healed? Let's answer that, because the way the article explains it is just wonderfully simple and honestly pretty profound. I want you to think about the first time you saw a really, really scary movie. Remember that feeling? Your heart's pounding, you're jumping out of your skin. It has a real physical effect on you. Now imagine watching that exact same movie for the 10th time. You know all the jump scares. It's just boring. You feel nothing. You can look at it and just kind of shrug and say, yeah, that happened. That is what healing feels like. It's when you can look back at a painful memory and it just doesn't have that emotional charge anymore. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? The facts of what happened to us, they're set in stone. We can't change the past. But what we absolutely can change is the power that past has over our present and our future. So we'll wrap up this explainer with a little question for you to think about. This isn't about digging around for trauma. It's just a gentle ask. Is there a part of your own story that maybe needs just a little bit of tender care so that you can truly heal and move forward?